In Capital News tonight, packs of wolves produced in Mkomazi Park relocated to Serengeti National Park. Stakeholders call for improved practical training for students to meet the technology market demand. And in sports, Twiga Stars Clara Vanga signs deal with Dukes Logrona of Spain. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Carlos Banda. First, the national news. The President of Zanzibar and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, has announced new leaders of the Electoral Commission in the Isles. A Zanzibar State House statement says that the President has appointed Judge George Joseph Kazi as the Chairman of the Commission and Aziza Sudi Suwedi, Idrisa Haji Jecha, and Juma Haji Usi as members. Others appointed members include Halima Mohammed Said, Ayub Bakar Hamad, and Awadh Ali Said. The new ZEC appointees are expected to be sworn in on 28th August at the State House in Zanzibar. Packs of wolves that were produced in an enclosure in Mkomazi National Park have been relocated to Serengeti National Park so as to increase their populations after facing the threat of extinction, as communities nearby have been killing the wild animals whenever they enter human settlement areas.
Kutokana na uwepo wa mbwa mwitu ndani ya hifadhi ya taifa ya Serengeti kwa uhaba, serikali kupitia taasisi ya utafiti wa wanyamapori nchini Tanzania TAWIRI ikishirikiana na TANAPA tumeanzisha programu ya kuhamisha mbwa mwitu kutoka hifadhi ya taifa ya Mkomazi na kuleta mbwa hawa ndani ya hifadhi ya taifa ya Serengeti.
Tumefanikiwa kuachia mbwa 20 kutoka hifadhi ya taifa Mkomazi kwenda hifadhi ya taifa Serengeti. Na lengo hasa la uzalishaji wa mbwa hawa ni kuhakikisha mbwa hawa wanarejea katika maeneo ambayo walikuwepo awali lakini wakatoweka kutokana na shughuli za kibinadamu.
ICT has been a major component of development where it has revolutionized various economic sectors, making them more competitive in the local and foreign markets. In light of this, ICT Commission Director General Dr. Nkundwe Mwasaga has shared insights on how Tanzania's ICT sector has played a role in transforming agriculture to become commercially competitive.
Agricultural sector becomes commercially competitive and even to compete in the global markets, noting that we will be having later this year the AGRF summit. So what does the ICT Commission do?
There are very important facts that I need to tell you. One, Tanzania is the food basket in this region. That's fact number one. Number two, agriculture is the one that employs many people as much as possible. I think it's over 70%. Agriculture sector is the one that contributing something around 23% of the GDP of the country. So it's a very important sector. The aim or what government is aiming at is to make our agriculture competitive. And the competitiveness of agriculture has to embrace technology. And the technology that we are looking at the ICT Commission is an ICT system and the platforms that will enable a farmer to get, for example, necessary information so that they can increase their yield. Also to see where the market is, and also to get the market not only in Tanzania, to get the market abroad. So what we do, what we are looking at the 5 pillars. One, our farmers, they're supposed to get digital skills so that they will enable to use the platform that will be beneficial to them. 2 is to ensure that those platforms are secure and they can be trusted so that the farmer will have confidence in using them. 3 is to ensure that farmers, and most of them, they are, as you understand, they are residing in rural areas, they have to get digital communication services. So they need to get more connectivity, and they need to get a connectivity of 4G if possible, and to 5G. that they will enjoy internet as is supposed to be. Another thing is to ensure that they use technology to improve into their economic activities, so the area of digital skills. And in the area of digital skills, we intend to make sure that not only the farmer, but in the value chain of agriculture, all the players, they use technology, and the technology will trickle down to the benefit of the farmer who is doing that. And also to ensure that people are doing entrepreneurship. So we expect to have a lot of startup companies that they are in the area which we call agtech, or agriculture technology companies, so that they can innovate and providing solutions that will enable to create even more job, more solution, and also to make Tanzania even more competitive.
Tunduru District Hospital in Ruvuma region, through its tuberculosis TB department, has started a TB education campaign for traditional healers as they treat many people from various areas in and out of the country without knowing if they are infected with the disease.
Kutokana na hilo, kwa mwingiliano huu, kuna kuwa na uwezekano mkubwa wa kuwa na watu wanafika wengine wakiwa na maambukizi ya kifua kikuu bila kujielewa, au kukawa na maambukizi ya kifua kikuu ambayo mtu ametoka nayo huko anakuja hapa na kuweza kuambukiza watu wengine. Ofisi ya mganga mkuu wa wilaya ikaamua kutuma kitengo cha TB na ukoma ili kuendelea na operation ya kuzungukia vilinge vyote vya halmashauri ya Tunduru.
Tunaomba isiishie hapa kwa elimu hii ambayo imetoka. Elimu hii tumekubali sisi wote, wagonjwa wote tulioko hapa ni wauguzi. Kwa hiyo ushirikiano huu tunaomba na mazingira, serikali isiishie hapa, na hata kwa waganga wengine walioko nje ya hapa wa tiba asilia naye watembelewe wakapewe elimu kama iliyopewa hapa.
Siku ya Jumamosi na Jumapili kufika Jumatatu huwa tunapokea wagonjwa zaidi ya watu 2000, na kazi zinaanza kuanzia na saa 3 au saa 4, tunakesha nao mpaka siku ya pili, siku ya Jumanne. Kwa ujumbe wangu kwenye serikali, kwanza naipongeza kutuletea huduma hii ya kifua kikuu kwenye tiba asili.
Tanzania Wildlife Authority TAWA is implementing a campaign that aims to fight illegal fishing as well as remove livestock from the Kilombero Forest Reserve in Morogoro region in an operation that uses modern patrol boats that can also be used in shallow waters.
Lakini pili, anayefanya shughuli za kilimo afanye kazi nje ya mita 60 kwa mujibu wa sheria.
Boti hii ni maalum kabisa kwa ajili ya kupita kwenye maji, lakini pia kupita kwenye nyasi na kwenye maeneo ambayo ni ardhi oevu.
Kweli vyanzo vya maji vimeharibiwa na ng'ombe na uvuvi haramu. Sasa kama hilo swali litapotea.
Tanzania's People's Defense Force TPDF has issued a 7-day deadline to institutions and citizens who wear clothes that resemble army uniforms to surrender them before stern legal action is taken against them.
Kwa lazima tuwasihi, tuwaombe na tutoe unyenyekevu mkubwa kwao kwamba tunatoa siku 7. Hizi siku 7 ni kuanzia tarehe na saa tunapozungumza hivi sasa, kwamba mavazi hayo iwe ndo mwisho wa kuyavaa, kuyatumia au kuyauza. Kwa wale wasanii, wao watafuata utaratibu wa kuomba kibali ili waweze kuruhusiwa kutumia mavazi hayo.
Sometimes fishing for certain edible fish species in the sea comes with seasonal conditions, making coastal communities who depend on this major economic activities that is also affected by effects of climate change face economic hardships. The World Wildlife Fund WWF is among stakeholders that are working with coastal communities on microfinance projects that aim to address these challenges. James Golola is a microfinance and enterprise officer from WWF. Can you tell us how WWF is empowering coastal communities with financial education?
Why we decided to establish these groups? We decided to establish this group in order to empower the coastal communities economically, in order the coastal community to be benefited with the coastal resources or fisheries resources. Through the COBA groups, we empowered them in educating them by educating them on financial management, how to save their money, how to get the loans from that groups. So through that, up to now, we have almost the communities who are members of these groups have improved their livelihood. In order, why we decided to empower these coastal communities to improve their livelihood, we decided to...
How has the microfinance initiative been incorporated with marine park conservation?
We decided to empower the coastal communities to improve their livelihood in order, first, to reduce the high pressure of fishing. In order to depend on fishing only, the people of coastal communities will have another alternative livelihood. Like we educated them or we empowered them on beekeeping, seaweed farming, crab fattening, and sea cucumber farming.
And what is your assessment of the project so far?
Up to now, most of the coastal communities, through empowerment from the WWF, they have improved their life. They have a good house. They are educating their children. They are paying them school fees. Also, through this village community groups, through these groups, the coastal communities for nowadays they have a good life through the empowerment or capacities which capacitated with the WWF. They have improved their life through that education.
And that finalizes the national news for tonight. We'll take a short break and return for business stories. Welcome back, and now business news. With growing demand for skilled labor force in the developing technology market in Tanzania, stakeholders have said more efforts are needed to ensure students taking science and technology courses in higher learning institutions get sufficient practical training so as to equip them with skills required by current market needs.
There's always been a gap, I think, in terms of resources. So in the initial days we spoke that when people wanted solutions, they would run out of the country and look for solutions. But now there's immense companies here like doing amazing stuff, amazing things here locally, but limited to software. So we were the ones crazy enough to do hardware solutions and hardware customizations locally. So there we saw there was a gap, there was a niche that needed attention. So that's the idea where it came up. Like we need to empower like the younger generation. We have younger generation who are switched on, who are passionate and have the skills, but they don't get the ground to really be able to try, test it out or execute. So this was something that we started as a Moran with the Shaji program. So Moran is a brand that we run under. So that's a program that it's not a school, but
kind of like a school. It's like a training program for them.
It's practical skills training. So I remember 3 years ago we started with one student who just saw us on social media and said, you know what, I want to learn from you. He came here, then he was from Arusha. Then last year we got 2 or 3. We got from Udom, 2 from Udom, yeah. And they came here. We taught them. This year said, no, I think we need to up our game. So it's self-funded. We allow them to use our resources and give them practical trainings on hardware and software development from prototyping until a market-ready product.
What particular project would you like to work on later on that you think that you can do for Tanzania?
Actually, it's the antennas. They are the GSM antennas. I actually want to learn more about them because communication is actually growing, and we need to communicate in order to do a lot of stuff. So I think when I'm done with my university, maybe I'll learn more about the antennas and find maybe a much more, because actually there's one issue I think I always hear my friends complaining when they are trying to do some configurations on those GSMs so that they can see each other. They actually take a lot of time. They can even take 2 days to configure a single GSM tower. Now I think I'll try to find a much more easier solution.
Interesting. In Dar es Salaam, mobile phone operator Tigo has handed over 5 million shillings to the winner of the 8th week of the Chawota campaign that has enabled more than 17,000 users win various prizes, including cash, since it was launched in the country.
Vigezo na masharti ni virahisi sana ambavyo kila mmoja wetu ana nafasi ya kuweza kuwa moja kati ya washindi hawa. Unahitaji tu kufanya vitu vifuatavyo. Kwanza, tumia zaidi lipa kwa simu.
Napenda kuambia watumiaji wote wa Tigo ambao wanaona kama hiki kitu hakiwezekaniki, hiki kitu kinawezekanika, kwa hiyo tuendelee kulipa kwa simu.
Farmers from cooperative societies from Mbeya, Songwe and Rukwa region have expressed concern on the drop in coffee prices at the first auction that was held in Songwe region, which they claimed are unprofitable compared to the previous season.
Kibaya zaidi sasa tumekuwa tumewazoea wakikataa kahawa hapa, wanavyoenda kwenye mnada mwingine ile kahawa wanaenda kuinunua, lakini wanainunua kwa bei ndogo. Sasa tunashindwa kuelewa kwamba hiyo kahawa inakuwa ni mbaya, inakuwa na kila kahawa wakikataa, mjue mnada unaofuata wanashusha bei.
Anawahakikishia hakuna kahawa yoyote ya mkulima kwenye madaraja ya juu itakayotoka kwa 125 kama walivyonoti wanunuzi, na tupo tayari kurudia mnada next time kama wakiwasipolizia kufikia hiyo bei ambayo sisi tumwambia, maana ile bei ndio itakuwa angalau mkulima ataweza kuona nini faida.
And that finalizes the business news. We'll take a short break and return for sports. Welcome back, and now sports news. Twiga star Clara Luvanga has signed a deal to join Dux Logroño of Spain. The prolific striker has signed a 3-seasons deal with the Spanish club, which takes part in the Primera Federation, or the women's third-tier league of the country. Clara, who won the Best Player of the Women's Premier League, was playing for the younger princess and has been crucial for the success of both Twiga Stars and the Tanzanites. Sudan's national basketball team is the only team from the African Zone 5 that will participate in the World FIBA competition that will take place in Japan and the Philippines. And moving on, the Union Netball Championship will start on August 28th this year at the Gymkhana Courts in Zanzibar Isles.
Muungano wetu sisi wa michezo sasa hivi ni wa muda mrefu na utaendelea kwa muda mrefu kwa sababu tunashirikiana vizuri kati ya hizi timu zetu mbili ambazo Chaneza na Chaneta, vyama vyetu hivi viwili tuko vizuri. Ni TAMISEMI Dodoma ambayo imetoka huku bara. Kwa hiyo tunaangalia pia na utetezi mkubwa wa ubingwa pia nadhani utakuwa huku bara.
Younger fans are confident of qualifying for the next round in the CAF Champions League when they face Asas of Djibouti on Sunday after winning the first game by 2-0 and putting 5 goals past KMC in their first NBC Premier League game.
Hii tunachukua tena mzee. Hatuna tatizo kabisa. Tunachukua tena. Tunachukua tena. Hamna wasiwasi. Wafungaji wapo. Ukisema hamna unakosea. Nao wanafunga si watu.
Mechi ya pili itakuwa nzuri kuanzia jana, makosa yale madogo yaliyotokea mechi iliyopita. Mwalimu kayafanyia kazi jana. Hii timu tuliocheza nayo jana ya KMC ni wachezaji bora, tangu imepanda inatusumbua. Jana tumevunja ukimya, tumeionyesha uwezo wetu.
Sisi ni watu wa kusubiri na mpira ni mchezo wa muda. Kwa hiyo naamini kwenye Champions League inawezekana na kukutana na watu ambao level yao ni tofauti na Confederation, kwa sababu kuna timu ambazo huwezi kuziona zinaapia kwenye Champions League.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.
Watch Capital News at 9:30 and get updated on what is happening in Tanzania and around the world on political, social, and economic issues and events, without forgetting business and sports news. You can get it all right here on Capital News at 9:30 from Monday to Friday on Zuku Channel 067, Digitech Channel 1103, and Facebook Capital Television Tanzania.
This week on Culinary Delights.
What we're going to find out today in this episode is what's so special on what is installed at Wildflower.
A pesto, so it's an Italian thing, and then the meaty and mushroom ones are pâtés, it's French.
Okay, very interesting condiments.
Do not miss for more this Sunday at 7:30 p.m. only on Capital Television, your channel of choice.
Watch Capital Television on Zouk Decoder, channel number 067, Digitech Decoder, channel number 1103. Capital Television, your channel of choice.